very powerful. Yeah. Nice to see you again. So nice. 50 weeks back it was like that. It was like 1 year has passed. How are you doing? This is the
Not with notes.
I don't think you can I don't have PowerPoint on my laptop.
Any other laptop you have?
Or I have an idea. Upload it from Google Drive. As a PowerPoint.
Google Slides.
Yeah.
Google Slides you can.
Yeah.
Just open Google Slides.
Yeah. I don't know why it's taking so long.
Do you have any other laptop?
This is the only laptop that will connect.
So all you need is Wi-Fi. Let me
Oh, here,
ask
I-
for
I-
my laptop.
Yeah, slides.
Oh.
You can
Or
open
you
this.
can do it from Drive.
We can keep getting more and more complex.
I need to get my phone. 1 second.
Some bhajan can be sung. Haribol. This will take, looks like this is going to
No, just tune.
take some time.
No, 2 minutes.
Prabhuji, I'm almost done.
Oh, you are almost done.
So are we waiting for anybody? Give me a second.
No, we can start.
I think it's done.
Yeah, one more mic we will connect, right? But we don't have a stand, Prabhu.
Both of them?
We can.
No, we have mic.
Good, she's well done, well done.
Thank you for
Only we can hold it in the hand. Mic. With only one mic.
No, we have two mics. Do you need two mics or one mic is okay?
To go to next, you just click the arrow. Yes.
It will be more complicated.
We can keep it in the center, Prabhu.
No, we are saying they will hold it in hand.
Oh.
She was supposed to say. Mataji, can you give a Wi-Fi to her phone?
Wi-Fi to her phone, yeah.
Her phone.
Yeah. For what?
Introduction. Introduction. Keep the phone with you.
So we will find a way of connecting the mic to the thing. It's only video is job. So this time a lot of people.
Prabhuji, Haribol.
Here.
Oh, you can read that.
No, you read, Prabhu. Please. Please.
What? Prabhuji,
Take the mic.
Wi-Fi? No, it's okay.
It's there in my chat.
Yeah, just do it.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Shalakaya
Krishna Prabhu.
Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Dhammayam Dati Swapadantikam.
I will be here because of
Shri Guru Shri Yuta Paratamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagrana Raghunathanvitam Sajivam Advaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakapriya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwamanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
So Hare Krishna devotees. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Dwarakadhish Prabhu and Vishakapriya Mataji. I have been given a task to introduce them. Many of you are meeting them first time, so it would be appropriate to have this introduction. Dwarakadhish Prabhu is a postgraduate MD in internal medicine and a senior physician at Bhakti Vedanta Hospital in Mira Road, Mumbai. He is also the co-founder and trustee and the head of the department for internal medicine. His spiritual quest brought him to ISKCON in 1982. Probably some of us were born in 1982, right? So then he started reading the Srila Prabhupada's books and then got initiated in 1986. Vishakapriya Mataji was introduced to the Bhakti in 1985 when she was in 9th grade and took the initiation in the same batch next year in 1986. Of course, the time they did not know each other, but senior well-wishing Vaishnavas catalyzed their relationship and they got married in 1990. They were the first couple to get married in Radha Govind temple. And the Yajna ceremony was performed by the Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj. They have been serving as counselors since over 3 decades and offering weekly deity worship since the installation of Sri Sri Radha Gopinath in Radha Gopinath temple. They are part of Grihastha Vision committee in Radha Gopinath temple and have been guiding hundreds of devotees through lectures and seminars on leadership, Vaishnava lifestyles, premarital training, marital counseling, and thus helping couples to lead a harmonious Krishna conscious life and family. With the intent to share what they have learned and gathered over the years, they have been traveling in India and outside India, many places in India like Kolkata, Hyderabad, Pune, Mumbai, Kolhapur, Nasik, and overseas like Mauritius, Malaysia, USA, and so on. One of their favorite services, acting and directing professional dramas. And Mataji has sent me a couple of links. I will forward those. One of the best dramas you can see ISKCON kids doing with a professional touch to it. There is a devotional and professional touch. It's not like someone is doing something and we have to encourage them. It is like, wow, kids can do this. And all credit goes to Mataji because she writes, directs, and makes sure that kids are acting professionally. You can watch these all beautiful dramas on YouTube or RG Media's channel. Vishakapriya Mataji has been successful IYS girl trainers through her annual summer camp since last 20 years. Basically, they love being with Vaishnavas and having 6 loving exchanges with all the Vaishnavas. So please welcome both of them. His Grace Dwarakadhish Prabhu and Her Grace Vishakapriya Mataji by saying 3 times, Hari Bol!
Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol!
What is like to come?
Your last name, Mother.
LLB. Lord of the Last Bridge.
Thank you very much, Vishakapriya. Thank you, Mataji, for having us here. Thank you, dear devotees. Some devotees we are familiar, and we have met them last year. Some of you probably are new to us, but we are very happy to be with each other today. Right? That's wonderful. So, the discussion we will take today is labeled as the tree of life. The tree of life, right? It is our Krishna consciousness movement, we can say, has got 2 major parts. Or for that matter, most religious movements which are powerful in the world, which are trendsetters and ones which guide human civilization towards a better quality of life. They have 2 parts. One is the tenets or philosophy or the Tattva Gyan, on which the entire movement is based and established. Right? And the other one is the lifestyle which that movement promotes. Right? And it is a lifestyle which actually makes the movement appreciated by people, because when they are able to lead that lifestyle and reap the benefits of that lifestyle as given by the philosophy, then people become impressed. Oh, you have a better lifestyle than us, you look happier than us, you look more peaceful than us, you look more sorted out than us, right? So that lifestyle will bring about tremendous benefits, right? So, in the Srimad Bhagavatam classes which we heard, right, we say Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, right? So we hear the philosophy. When we hear this exalted philosophy coming from thousands or millions of years, we would like to spend some time today on seeing how we can bring the philosophy into our daily life, right? That means bridging the gap between Gyan and Vigyan, how that Gyan can become wisdom, right? Otherwise, what can happen, unfortunately, is that we will hear a lot of things, we will learn a lot of slokas, we will read a lot of books, but it remains where? Not practically, it remains in our head, right? So we become more, yeah, hello.
You go? Okay.
So it remains more a theoretical thing. But to reap the benefits of this rich philosophy, right? This is the richest philosophy in the world. Vaishnavism is the richest philosophy in the world, much more than Advaita and other philosophies, right? To reap the benefits, we must learn the art of living that lifestyle. Therefore, this is called as a progressive lifestyle seminar. And staunchly is simple yet official approach to strengthen people's lives for their overall well-being. So mark the words, other words, we are not going to talk only about spiritual life, right? We will talk about our entire life. Because there are various aspects to our life. We are not just only spiritual. There are many things which we do, right? Many dimensions to our life. And therefore, we want to live what we call as a wholesome life. My father would sometimes tell me, Dhaval, my legal name is Dhaval, we should live a full life. Right? Don't narrow it down to just this thing, full life, right? And therefore, it is important that we understand that whatever aspects may be there must get their due emphasis. And we talk about what are the different aspects. This diagram which you are seeing, right, has got 8 sectors. And we go in the clockwise direction and just read up to you. And you can also probably, you can see it. Right? So one is work and career goals, personal and professional development. We want to have some leisure and fun. Right? And there are physical well-being, spiritual well-being, and giving purpose and meaning to our life. And there is relationships to be maintained, and there is mental well-being. So you can see the previous slide also. This slide. And you can see this. The central one. You can see this one. Yeah. So these are called as our needs. Please take note that word we are using here is not wants, it is needs, right? So whether you are a devotee, non-devotee, American, Indian, African, Aboriginal, whatever you are, right? Everyone has these needs. So wholesome life is about living Krishna consciousness life while taking care of all this. So the goal remains the same. The goal is Krishna consciousness. The goal is not different. The goal is same. But to practice Krishna consciousness perfectly well, you will do it much better if you also take care of these other aspects. Otherwise, Krishna consciousness can get affected, right, and can go into an imbalanced state. That imbalance will lead to some complications of life, right? So we'll talk about that a little later. So,
They want to see the slide. They want to see the slide also. I have to do that. Can increase this.
So we see that usually in our life there are 2 aspects. One is our personal life and there is people around us whose lives are also connected to us, right? Is man an island? No. We are always connected. So only if we can, first you should help yourself or help others.
Help yourself.
Physician, heal thyself. Unless we don't help ourselves, how do we help others? Is it possible? Not possible, right? So why should you help yourself first? All of us travel by flight. In the flight, what do people say? If there is some turbulence, who should you put the oxygen mask on first? Yourself. Even though the closest person might be dearest to you, your child might be with you, but they will say, don't put the mask for the child first, first put for yourself. Why? Because if you are alive, then your child will be alive. If while putting the mask, you only die, then who will put the mask on the child? That is why it is said what? Janma sarthak kari kara paropkar. First you make your own janma sarthak successful. Then only you will be able to do paropkar, right? If you are drowning in an ocean, who can save you? Somebody who is a good swimmer. If somebody doesn't know swimming and you are like grappling, you will also drown and take the other person also and drown, Both will drown together, right? So that is why we understand that a community is made up of families and families are made up of individuals. So only strong individuals can make strong communities. We are all trying to have good communities, right? This is the Charlotte community. We are the Chowpatty community. You have the New York community. You will have the Detroit community. All our community is not a homogeneous thing. All of us constitute the community. So to the extent you are strong, the community is strong. If you are weak, the community is weak. That is why we are talking about this particular concept.
we came, we went to Detroit, then we went to Cincinnati, we were at Columbus, right? And everywhere we saw one phenomena. What was that? Lots and lots and lots of trees with no leaves. No leaves.
In this trip, they were there first.
So they were living trees, but they looked lifeless, right? So after coming to this place, our hearts erupted in joy. And the first thing we told Prabhu as we encountered this guy, I said, this place looks nice. It's green. Then he said, there's also a problem. There's a lot of pollen goes up there. But that's another thing. That's another part of it. But it's green, right? So there is a lot to learn just by looking at a tree, right? In the Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, there are sections where you can learn so much. There are 24 gurus described. We have our Diksha Guru, we have Srila Prabhupada, who is our Shiksha Guru for ISKCON, the Dwarakadhish. We learn so much for it, right? And yet, simply by observing nature, nature also is a teacher. Nature also has got various gurus who are looking at, you can understand so many things, right? So I would look at a spider, for example, and the spider would have its net, right? The spider can weave a net and I can and take it back. So it said the Lord Sri Vishnu, Mahavishnu, takes out his net called as Maya Jal, right? Now he doesn't get stuck in the jar. That's why you don't want the spider is stuck in his own jar. The spider is really controlled this jar, but other flies get stuck. So other living entities get stuck in the jar, but the Lord is never stuck. So in this way, the spider teaches you something, right? A complete analogy. Similarly, the tree is something to teach us, and the entire seminar particularly based on looking at all this aspect of the tree in a little more detail. So it has got three parts, as we know. It was the roots, it was the trunk, and it's got the crown. The green part is the crown, right? So let's start from down. Let's start from the basis, right? We start from lotus feet. So we study from. we start from the feet of the. So the roots are like the feet of the tree. They don't move, but they're still anchored. They're anchored. So they are not visible. They are not visible. So we are going to compare ourselves. Now, please understand, we are going to compare ourselves with the tree. So, what part of the roots corresponds to you and me? The main thing is that the root of the tree is not. So, what part of you and me is not seen? I can see your shirt, I can see your pant, I can see your dhoti, I can see your kurta, I can see your our inner self, our inner consciousness, our inner ecosystem cannot be seen. What cannot be seen is what is our value system, what is our character. Can we see character? Can we see values? We cannot see values, right? But we all have values. Somebody has low values and has got very high values, but there are values, right? So that is called as our inner system, right? And since the purpose of the roots is to, what is the purpose of the root of a tree? Why is the root red? What is the root of the tree?
It holds the tree.
It holds the tree. What does it do?
Nourishes the
Tree, right? So it is required for stability and for its nourishment, right? So it sustains the life of the tree by absorbing all the nutrients which are in the soil. It nourishes, right? Similarly, my dear friends, my dear devotees, what sustains you and me is not just the food we eat, that's just for physical. But what sustains our existence, our human existence in the right perspective, with the right purpose, is our values. Is it not true? Right? A person is known not by his dress, by his car, by his mobile. A real person is known by his values. Right? Values, right? So it is said, tell me what are your values and I will tell you who you are. A man is judged by the ideals he keeps. The more the ideals are in line with the Holy Scriptures and the teachings of the Lord and the rishis and sages, the more our life is going to be, in its proper perspective. right? And the more we deviate, the further we go, is further we compromise, and we deviate to that extent, the roots become weak, right? The roots become weak and they cannot sustain us. And this is very important in today's day and age. We find examples like people say, oh, people come from India. In India there is some vestigial dharma is there, right? And there may be very pious Hindus, pious people staying there. Their children come here for studying. Like how many? They say something like 25 lakh people came from India last year over here for jobs and studies, right? When they come here, do they keep the same lifestyle? How many of you have experienced that the lifestyle degrades or upgrades? Most of the time, what happens? What is our experience, those who are desis staying there? Huh?
Depends on initially degrades and
No, depends on what is your experience around dissection. What is the general experience? Does it get degraded? Does it get upgraded? Degrade.
degrade and upgrade.
Degrade and upgrade. How they degrade? When they come in contact with all of you, then we get upgraded. If you don't come in contact with Vaishnavas, it will keep on getting degraded, right? So the atmosphere here is not at all conducive towards the life of holiness and spirituality and higher consciousness. It is not at all conducive. It is guided towards self-gratification and breakage of all principles, right? A pious son of a Brahman who is serving in the Srirangam temple. His father is a head pujari there. When he comes over here, the next day he starts taking meat and wine. These are not unknown stories to us, right? This happens, right? Therefore, truly speaking, to make our life stable, we settle okay, I've settled. So generally we think of only of money as settlement. Now I have got money, I have a good job and this and that, now I can. But actual stability is not financial. Actual stability is the stability of our consciousness, our character. There is no Krishna consciousness possible unless there is proper moral character. It is a myth, right? Our Krishna consciousness stands on the pillar of foundation of proper morality and character. Is it not true?
Yes,
right? You can, somebody chants Hare Krishna and is breaking the principles, right? Go on chanting Hare Krishna, 16 rounds every day, right? But he is doing all sorts of things that are not recommended. That is not going to happen. And therefore, Prabhupada has strongly recommended that first requirement is stabilize your moral character. Right.
So when the roots are strong, what happens?
It is difficult to mow the tree.
You can't uproot it easily, right? Here you have so many cyclones and tornadoes and storms coming. The smaller trees may fall down, but the big trees, will they ever fall? And here storm comes once in a way. How many times storm comes in our life?
Very times.
Recently the storm after Antal has come. Right? Many devotees have become destabilized. Many people have lost their jobs. Sometimes you have a health crisis. Sometimes you have job crisis. Sometimes you have relationship crisis. So many crises happen, right? Unless our roots are strong, we absolutely get destabilized in our life. Means, what happens to us?
Overthinking, that's what.
We are overcome.
Yeah, you become overcome by it. You don't know how to move forward. You become bewildered. You become confused. You don't know how to move forward in your life. Why? Because our roots are not strong. Strong roots means deep. They go deep. And they are also spread out. Both ways. This way and this way. Both are needed. So, if the roots are very deep, the bigger trees, they are able to stand because the roots are deep. Right? So, that's what we need to understand, that the stability comes from deep roots. Stability is not going to come from, shallow. What's the opposite of deep?
Shallow.
Shallow type of, superficial roots. We won't be able to sustain sustain ourselves. That's why we say that roots bring stability and sustenance. So there are some root growth retarders. And we have our Govardhan Eco Village, where we are staying in Mumbai, few kilometers away. And there we have a Yamuna river, which has been created. And on the bank of the Yamuna river, there was a big tree. Nice, lush, big green tree was there on the bank of the Yamuna. And after some months, we started seeing that the tree started drying up. And the leaves became very dry and the branches started falling. And it's in a farmland, right? So a lot of farmers are there. So we called somebody and said, "Oh, just see what has happened." So he saw that there is a particular type of a bug, an insect, which when it starts eating at the roots, then the whole tree becomes what? Hollow. Even though it is deep, even though the root is deep, no doubt about that, it's a big tree, but still some bugs, when they affect the tree, then the whole huge tree, they had to cut it down because it started becoming poisonous and it could make through the pollen, other trees could become poisonous, right? So what do you call as root growth retarders? Sometimes we are practicing Krishna consciousness. What happens? Two things happen in our life. One is that we start, even though we might be good devotees, our roots are strong, character is good, everything what we spoke about is there, but we start committing offenses. And that offense becomes like a bug. Slowly it starts eating the root. Before we realize, our whole tree of Krishna consciousness can dry up. The second thing that can happen is what? Doubts. You may start having doubts that does the process work? No? This is said in Bhagavad Gita, but does it happen? Why? Because you associate with a lot of non-devotees, sometimes Mayavadis, you read non-Krishna conscious literature, get influenced by media, and doubts start coming in our mind. Is it true what Prabhupada says? Is it true? Or is it just hyperbolic statements that are given there? So when these two things happen, then slowly the roots start getting weak. Right? So these two are known as growth retarders. The root growth retarder is these two things. So we should be very careful from that this type of bug should not attack us. Otherwise it is Kunjara Shauchavat. You are practicing spiritual life and you are committing offenses simultaneously. And your root could get harmed.
The most recent example from Ramayana could be how the love of Kaikai turned into poisonous hate towards Ram by what? Doubt. The doubt created. I think there is a problem. It is not what you are perceiving. This is all done as a matter of conspiracy against you and your son. She put such a huge doubt that in that pest which she talks about, which eat away, the root of love, which was so deep in the heart of Mother Kaikai, turned hollow, and from a loving mother, she became so inimical. She started hating Dasharatha, hating Lord Ram. Right? And the whole Ramayana is a result of mantra's intervention. That is the power of doubt. So stay away from mantra-like people who will get that thing. So we nourish the tree, of course, with Shravan Kirtan. I think that is something which we all know. We have heard this many times, performing bhakti through hearing, chanting, and we nourish that tree, and at the same time we avoid the association of people who will bring about doubts. And so we move on. So this is, we talked about which part? The roots. Now what do we learn? How does the trunk of the tree match with us? Now what does the trunk do? The trunk is the visible part. The trunk, roots you don't see. But can you see somebody's lifestyle? Yes. You can see lifestyle. Whom they associate with. It is all a visible part. So trunk is our visible part of our lifestyle. What is the purpose of the trunk? Yes, it takes nourishment from down and it supports and it takes water to the top, to the furthest leaf it takes the nourishment. What else does it do? It holds the entire crown, right? The trunk is so thick, right? It is thick because it is to sustain several.
Charger to the laptop, I think, is getting discharged. No. The sound is coming.
I think no, Mataji, it's not that. It's not the laptop.
Okay, but it's charging, right? It won't suddenly get discharged.
Yes,
It's
I
a
think
charged
it is
laptop.
charging method. That is the charger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, the visible part of our lifestyle is called as the trunk, right? When we get up, when we sleep, what do we eat, what time do we eat, whom we associate with, our job, various things, how we connect with our family life, all this called as our visible lifestyle, right? So, all this is going to be nourished. You must remember that all this, the Krishna consciousness elements the roots are our Krishna consciousness, the integrity, the consciousness which we have. Now, whatever we are doing in our lifestyle, that is not independent of the roots. It is not like trunk, katke, then there is root, katke, all the three are homogeneously one, correct? So, actually, as Mataji said, the lifestyle should be nourished by the roots. That means, while we are conducting our life, the duties of our life, we don't forget the Krishna consciousness dimension. Right? We still want to live what is called as a Krishna-centered lifestyle. That means we have wives, we have husbands. We don't neglect them. We have jobs. We don't neglect that. Right? We have duties to our parents. We don't neglect that. Right? We have duties to society. We don't neglect that. But everything is done based on the strength and nutrition we see from the roots. Right? There are so many great kings in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are Ambarish Maharaj and so many Parikshit and other things, right? They were kings of the whole world, right? Whatever lifestyle they had, lavish lifestyle, palace and everything else. But they were nourished by Krishna consciousness, right? Otherwise, the lifestyle can become simply following external lifestyle based on just doing our mundane duties. It is not going to bring any spiritual progress, right? Raising a family is a duty, but then we look at it a little more broadly. It's common to every bird and animal and reptile and everything. All of them are raising their families. Everyone is taking care of their family and children. It is nothing unique to every the bird is going out and collecting grains, which is a job, and feeding the family. So we are going out and sometimes working from home, sometimes collecting grain by going to the office, right? We are doing so. So nothing unique about raising families. What makes human life special is that all this thing is done with the purpose that this is for maintaining our Krishna consciousness. It should have a Krishna consciousness dimension to it.
So the trunk basically consists of three parts. If you want to analyze our lifestyle, what does it have? One is the physical part of our life, right? Second is our social circle. Man is a social being, as we said, that what type of social circle we have, that helps us to have the emotional balance. This is the physical balance, the emotional balance, as you can see over here. So one is the family, one is the physical, and one is our social circle, that which we could have, right? So all these three aspects, they constitute our trunk. It cannot be, taken out of context. So when we are talking of the physical aspect, a person's physical well-being stands on three pillars, according to Ayurveda. Okay, one is a good diet, second is a healthy and regulated sleep, and third is exercise. How many of us do all three of these?
Properly.
Very good.
Only 2-3 hands.
Yeah, but imagine that when we are young, we don't realize it. We are eating junk food and like whatever comes, we eat. We know in the US, everybody doesn't even cook every day because of everybody is working and also fresh food is not available to eat. Plus, even if it is how nutritious is your food? As it, the nutritional content of the food based on your body composition and all. So, how we take care of our families' diet is a very important part of the strength of the trunk because we have to do long-term bowling. Right? When we are young, we don't realize, but then the body starts answering. Then, as you get old, if you have not eaten properly, our grandparents and all, they had proper ghee and milk, ghee, dahi, everything, malai. So their bones and all are so strong. And we have been brought up eating pasta, pizza, bread, sandwich, Maggi noodles, and all of that. So from we see, young girls of 16 say, oh, Mamaji, headache. I'm having a backache, And you are 15, what backache you are having, Right now, you should not be getting a backache. But they can't even carry their school bag, right? Because their bones are already weak. They get tired very fast. Little bit of work they will do and say, oh, I'm tired, and this and that, everything. So they have mostly become couch potatoes. They have become like that. So diet is a very important part. We should remember that, and maybe more so for the ladies, because here in US, men and women both are into the kitchen. A very nice sight to see that. So we should see to it that whatever we eat, to whatever extent we can, the foundation of the body is built from childhood. The more nutritious food we will eat, everything less disease will come into our body. So then prevention is always better than cure, right? Even a healthy, regulated sleep is important. You want to speak about sleep?
Okay. So yeah. So we've been experiencing in our hospital we have several hundreds of dozens of devotees coming to take medical help, and when they realize their problem, they become with this problem or that problem, whatever it may be. We always take a detailed history, right? What they eat, how they eat, when they sleep, what are the activities, and what is their overall lifestyle. So we find that many devotees have become habitual to sleep late. Right? Not you.
I'm the one.
I thought you are an exception, you say. So dear devotees, please take this carefully. You are hearing from a doctor. So this is not usually stressed in our classes, but I certainly with a lot of love and affection all of you like to say that sleep is an extremely important factor in maintaining the trunk of your body, which is your sustaining your lifestyle. The health crashes, there is no Krishna consciousness, or it becomes extremely difficult. I'm sure you all understand this, right? You get a simple headache and you are gone. If you don't get fever, you get a feverish. Fever is आने के बाद ही ऐसा लगता है कि you're finished, right? So also we are so fragile that a small aberration in our body and we are finished, right? And a large part of our immune system, which Prabhuji was talking today about immune system, the immune system is generated at night. And it is spent up fighting all the pollen and all the kachra we eat and drink and all in the daytime. So sleep from, say, the best time to sleep is 9:30 to 4:30. Or if you're on the later side, it will be 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Right? So that 7 hours of sleep is good enough. If somebody is 70 years and above, they take 1 hour nap in the afternoon. The best most people need not take afternoon nap to be working the whole day. But sleep is very, very important. Diet and exercise, right? And exercise has become such a rare thing. Although in America we don't see it, right? The Americans are just always running. You find that when it is cold, they're like with the shorts and shoes they're running. You won't find Indians doing that. Even though they stay here, they don't imitate that part. The other part they imitate, American, the lifestyle, hairstyle, dress style. The running part, they're doing exercise, right? But you won't find most people spending half an hour at least also on exercise. So body degenerates. So my dear devotees, These are the triangle: diet, sleep, and exercise. And this is going to sustain a large part. If the health goes, as they say always, again reminder of what we talked about before in this line, right? You are taught in school something which we have forgotten probably, that when money is lost,
Something is lost.
Nothing is
you're not very far. Money is lost, nothing is lost, they say. Then when health is lost, and character is lost. So yeah, this is what the whole thing is. The whole seminar is expanding on that deeper understanding. And the Kali Yuga propaganda is so strong that when money is lost, people are made to feel Barbaad ho gaye. Finish everything gone. Right? And when character is lost,
he becomes frustrated.
everyone is like that. किसी का कनेक्शन नहीं है, हमारे जीवन पे क्या हो गया?
Can I ask a question?
We complete this.
I will ask in the car.
Yeah, you ask in front of everybody, but in the end, please remember, don't forget the question. So we mentioned that one is the physical level, second is the social lifestyle which we have, right? And as I mentioned, social lifestyle consists of these three things. One is our family, one is our friend circle, and third is because we are all working or studying or something. So people in the workplace, in schools, colleges, whoever are there. Now today, so many diseases are happening because of what? Broken relationships. Right? Very difficult to have Langoti friends. Right from childhood, some friend is there till the end of life. Very rare concept today. We keep changing. School, some different set of friends. College, some different set of friends. After marriage, some different set of friends. Workplace, different set. And you don't even bother about others because we don't believe in deep relationships at all. It's all what? Use and throw. Use and throw. That's the culture today, right? Disposable plates, disposable glasses, disposable spoons, and disposable relationships. We have got into that type of mentality. Same thing is coming into jobs. If you are stuck in one job for a long time, people will think something is wrong. No? You are not progressing. How come so many years you are in the same job? You are not a very progressive person. But at our grandparents' time and our parents' time, they joined the job and they retired in the same company, you know.
Same building.
They never, huh?
Same building.
Yeah, nobody changed this thing. Why? Because that is the sign of the mentality of that time. And this is the sign of mentality of today. Restless. This job, you get a little, few rupees, few dollars more, you change the job, you know. Just keep jumping like monkeys, you know. Here to there, to there, to there. In hope of greener grass. Somewhere or the other. And again, that same mentality has come into family, unfortunately. Family, which is supposed to be such a sacred bond, which we say at death we shall part. Isn't that? But today, they say love at first sight and divorce at first fight. First fight and divorce, you know. I cannot get along, I don't like it, and who are you and who are me, and immediately, you know, get into all the legal complications, and sometimes divorce has become a business also. They are giving business to the lawyers, that is for 100% sure. They are thriving on that only. But it has become like that. Why? Because our trunk is not strong. Because it's not drawing the values from the roots. If our roots are strong and we have good character, we have good integrity, we have good value system, then you will not give up relationships so fast, even though there is difficulty. We are not saying that, you know, no difficulty is there, then anybody can maintain a relationship. What's the big challenge of it? That everything is good? So good, you can maintain. But in face of challenge, when we still try to maintain a relationship, why? Because marriages are made in heaven. It is ordained. It's not a very cheap thing. We get married, you know, you take 7 rounds, Saptapadi vows, in front of fire. Usually in olden days, people used to get married in the temple. God is also there. God is the witness of the marriage. today court marriage, so you need 2 witnesses to make the signature. But then Radha Krishna is the witness. Radha and Krishna, 2 witnesses. So when you do, the marriage used to be a big fanfare affair. Marriage used to go on for 1 month. You know, inviting your family to my family for 1 week, then my family to your family for 1 week, then there is music, and there is bhajans and sangeet and Preeti Bhoj and so many things. Why they have such elaborate marriage that if I want to separate, then I have to think 10 times that everybody knows. But today what? Secretly you marry in the court. Nobody will know when you are married. So when you are divorced also nobody knows. And the Havan Kund used to be big. Then it kept shrinking. Now the Pandit brings it in a bag, They come to the bag, the Havan Kund in 5-star hotel. A little bit of Agni will be there. The Agni has also become shrink. Everything shrinks in Kali. So there is no sanctity in the marriage. So what happens? Very easy. And the trunk is becoming weak now. That's a very sad thing. Right? The trunk is going to hold the whole crown is becoming weak at the, So we have to think about it, that how we can increase our integrity, these values, integrity, loyalty to friends, commitment to your family members, all these things. And that comes only when you try to practice good, virtuous qualities. Unless you have tolerance, forgiveness, love, respect for each other, you cannot maintain relationships. It will be very easy to break it, right? So one psychologist has given very beautiful concept of how to maintain mental and emotional health. Just few tips, we won't go too much into detail. One is the MYOB principle. What is MYOB? Mind your own business. Mind your own business. Why do we say mind your own business? Because sometimes we get so much worked up with what other people are doing in their life. This one is doing like that. You start comparing. My friend has this, I don't have this. That one got a rise in his salary, I did not get. All the time we are just what other people are doing. What is it? What is she wearing? Which type of house is this? Everything you are just caught up in all these small dramas of life that you forget the big picture only. You just forget the big picture. So when you learn to mind your own business, you remain a satisfied person. And whatever I have got is the best. My children are the best. My wife is the best. My husband is the best. My house is the best. Whatever I have got, I should learn how to be satisfied. Otherwise, grass always looks greener on the other side. And that's what happens. A person who divorces once can divorce twice also, no? Yeah. What makes you feel that he will stick around with you? Not possible. So we have to learn this art of how to make the trunk strong by learning how to mind our own business and try to be happy in our own lives. Second is what makes the trunk strong? Are we able to handle feedbacks in our life? How many of you like to give feedbacks?
All of us.
2 hands. And how many of us like to get feedbacks? Especially if you are new devotee, you may still tolerate a feedback. But if you have become few years in Krishna consciousness and somebody gives you that, you are going to tell me, I know how many years I have been a devotee. I am practicing for so long. You may not say it, but your mind blocks. Somebody is even telling you something good, you say, say. Whatever you want to say, I know what has to be done. Mind is blocked. I don't want to hear only because I think what? I am right. I am best. I am not open to feedbacks only. So what makes the trunk strong and make us mentally and emotionally strong? The ability to be able to handle feedbacks. Third is have a clean lifestyle. Again, when we are talking of clean is what? We are talking of character. Right? Sometimes we get involved in financial messes. Or today, unfortunately, when we are talking of clean character, we are basically referring to when a character is not clean, you will end up having extramarital affairs. So common now. It's not very uncommon to see that. Why? Because you feel it's okay, everybody is having, so why not me? Right? This everybody business has messed up our life like that. So we should try to see that our lifestyle remains very, very clean. We don't, lie so much. We don't practice malpractices in our life. We don't hurt anybody. And our character remains pure. Morally, we are pure person. So being clean is a strength of mental and emotional strength.
A very important aspect of clean lifestyle. Most of the unclean things which are done in life are done secretly. People don't do unclean things like right in public. But a Krishna conscious devotee understands that my wife will not see, my husband will not see, my children will not see, the people will not see. But there is a silent observer. The observer is sitting right in our heart. So for a devotee, everything is done with, as I said, consciousness is important. If consciousness is good, he knows that I am responsible because the Lord in my heart, and Sarvasa Chaham Hridish Enemisto, Krishna's 15th chapter, he is there in the heart of every living entity. Right? The Sakshi Gopal, the unseen invisible Sakshi, is monitoring our thoughts, monitoring our words, and looking at our deeds. Right? So we are ultimately accountable, yes, to our wife and husband and Samaj, yes, but ultimately accountable to whom? To our beloved Lord. Our beloved Lord, right? So we cannot cheat Him. We cannot betray Him, right? We cannot rule out that He is not there. He is there, right? And if we remain conscious of this, that will prevent us. If we remain conscious of the fact, it will prevent us from doing the things which are the forbidden acts, which are unholy, which will degrade us, which will corrupt us from within. So let us remain conscious that the Lord is always seeing us, and therefore we want to protect the picture of a proper devotee in front of him. Right? Yeah.
The next important point is what? Acceptance. If we are able to accept things the way they happen in our life, then we become emotionally and mentally very strong people. There's a whole different set of seminar you can talk on acceptance. But those who have a strong trunk are able to remain stable and accept whatever happens in their life. Positive, negative, they don't get destabilized by doing that. So it's a very important principle. Right? And who can accept things? One who has strong faith in the plans of the Lord. That this is planned by the Lord for what? For my purification. Whether I may not understand it right now, but if I just accept it instead of getting, agitated, hyper about anything, frustrated, losing my faith, that this is all nonsense, Krishna consciousness and all. What is the use of it? Look what happened to me. So, very easy, because that's the default button. Why me? Default button. But when your root is strong, then what do? You have strong gratitude muscles. You will be able to be grateful to the Lord that I don't understand right now how this is good for me. But the Lord knows that it is good for me. Let me have that faith and keep moving ahead in life. Not easy, but if the root is strong, then you will be able to have this easily. And the fifth principle is what? Simplicity. Let's not be complicated people. The more complicated we are mentally, in every way, manipulative, political, try to create politics amongst devotees or colleagues or whoever. So Krishna likes simple people. He loves Sudama. Why? What did he have? Simple devotee. He liked Palavaja Sridhar. Why? Simple devotee he was. So these people, if we practice these principles that are given here, then you can become mentally and emotionally strong and have a strong trunk to be able to move ahead.
So you're okay with us? You're moving right with us, right?
You are with us, right?
You're okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, not hungry? Okay. So we talked about drawing nourishment from the roots, passing on that and leading a more wholesome and a balanced lifestyle, which is the trunk. And now we like to see what is there in the tree which matches with the crown of the tree. What aspect of our life is the crown? So what is the crown? Crown is the ultimate. The tree is there because the tree is there for a purpose. If you have only trees which have roots and trunk, and no crown, would it be any meaningful? झाड़ है लेकिन उसका ऊपर कुछ नहीं है. It's just there, right? But what gives value to the tree is what the tree is giving out, right? The fruits and flowers. Similarly, our value is what are we ultimately giving out. We draw, we nourish ourselves with the trunk, and then we give out, right? Like we eat, we digest, and then we ultimately give out, correct? So, right, take the next one. So, this is going to take that. Go back. Yeah. So, this is what, as devotees, as civilized people, ultimately, what are we giving out to our families? What are we giving out to our society? Right? The karmis and the devotees, they have different type of attitude. For the karmi, his sense of achievement is what? His crown. What is his crown? Big name,
Positions.
big fame, power, position, right? A grand type of things to exhibit, right? So his show will be what he has gained by grabbing Krishna's property as his own, right? And then showing that this is what I have achieved. Oh, this person is worth 5,000 billion. So people are nowadays, they are, what he may be 70 kilos, 60, but what is he worth? He is worth $5 billion. So people, so they are evaluated like that. But what ultimately gives pleasure to devotees is what they give out. Now look at Prabhupada, for example. What was his crown? How wonderful is his crown, right? What he gave, right? So ultimately, we are here to take Janma Sarthaka Kari, and then what is the last thing? Kara. So this is that part. Crown is the part what we give out. Maybe even to our children, we want to give them the same values, right? And we want to give them a good example. For a grihastha, the crown can be something as simple as giving our children a good example of happy family life which is centered around Krishna. And that is a basic thing. We can do much more than that. We should, but even if we can do that much, right? That the children see that my parents are interacting with warmth, with affection, with kindness, right? With sensitivity, right? With appreciation. If the children see that this is the type of relationship my father and mother are sharing, that creates a huge amount of stability emotionally in the minds of our children. So as they grow, they feel sheltered in that loving atmosphere. Otherwise, as they become 12, 13, 14, 15, they did not get that emotional shelter here. They may try to get something from out, which will be not very healthy for them. So giving an atmosphere of stability, and so how we are being a Christian, we are happy family and we are Christian-centered family, right? That example is, right, like we saw this boy who is written right now, right? I don't know why this is not right. But it is wonderful to see, when we see our children playing harmonium, doing that means they are imbibing the lifestyle which we are promoting, right? And ultimately giving out. For example, one of the wonderful things which has been said by Prabhupada is that who's the best preacher? When we say giving out means we are a preacher, right? Who's the best preacher?
The one who practices
Who practices. Yeah. A happy devotee is the best preacher. Right? When devotees are happy, when the crown is good, when the trunk is good, when the roots are strong and the trunk is taken care of, automatically the ground becomes happy. It is full of fruits and flowers and leaves, and there are a lot of butterflies and a lot of bees hanging around. The whole ground is very beautiful. Right? So when we live a lifestyle where the devotee is happy, then he exudes that happiness in his surrounding. People can ask, when you preach Krishna consciousness to your colleagues, to your friends, to your relatives, to your cousins, to brothers, right? And then they can see that actually, they can see a lifestyle that what he was before, what she was before. She was cranky, irritable, she was unhappy, she was sad always, she was always pulling her hair, she was fighting with people, whatever, right? But now because she has come to Krishna consciousness, her lifestyle has changed, value system has changed, and therefore she has, what she's bringing out is a lot of positivity, a lot of grace, a lot of happiness. And people will be willing to listen because we are giving out a very positive vibes to them. So that is what we want to give out, right? Of course, along with that, there are so many projects which we are talking about. But for book distribution, we are talking about Jagannath Rath Yatra today, right? So we are giving out. We are giving so what we give out is in the 11th canto, when Krishna is talking to Uddhav, devotees can give out in 4 ways. Praner, Arther, Dhiya, and Vacha. By giving your life's energy, prana is called prana shakti, right? Whatever we eat and nourish and exercise and all, we get prana shakti. We give that prana shakti towards Krishna conscious activities, towards our mission. Right? Then Arther, we as devotees, as Gresas, we have some Lakshmi, we have some money, so we can partake of that and give it to the mission. The mission can grow financially because no movement can ever grow without support of money. Dhiya means you have knowledge, your intelligence, and Vacha means through our words, through our preaching, right? So we should be doing out. So in this way, so if you take a summary of this, now look, we talked about it for the last half an hour or so. We talked about 3 things in separation. Now we have to make the whole picture into something which is summation, right? The roots are required for nourishment, and they are primarily for our spiritual well-being. The trunk is our lifestyle for our physical and emotional well-being. So spiritual ho gaya, physical ho gaya, emotional ho gaya, right? And the crown is our personal contribution of missionary work. What we give to the world. My dear devotees, remember, let us devotees are always givers. The karmis are what? Takers. Not takers, grabbers. They grab. They are the steal from Krishna, right? Ravana is like that, and all these demons are like that, right? Grab. But devotee is always, because in giving is receiving. So give out what you have. Somebody made you a devotee. Somebody cared for you and said, oh, this is. So we also should now. So whatever we have received, we should give out, right? And that is how the movement gradually will spread. So the crown part for us is how we are repaying our debt to Srila Prabhupada, our debt to our fellow Siksha Gurus, our debt to our fellow devotees, what we have received for them. Our life has changed. How many people feel that your life has changed favorably after coming to Bhakti? How many people are happier than what you were before coming to Bhakti? See, there is 100% voting taking place. Right? Just see what we were before. We all were miserable people. Is it not? We were miserable people. Dukhi. But now we become Sukhi. Right? We become Sukhi. So our goal is what now? Do you want to be selfish and hold it to yourself? No. You want to be selfless. Give out. And that, the more we give out, our crown becomes more and more, more and more. The foliage becomes more flowers, Dwarakadhish. We'll go a little further and take a discussion a little more deeper now.
So out of these three, which is the most important part?
Roots.
How many say roots?
They're underground.
Nobody says anything else?
The three are equally important.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. What's your name, Prabhuji? Satya.
You spoke Satya. Right?
The purpose of the seminar was to make us understand that everything has its own. It's like saying that what is the best, what is the most important of the three? The roots. Trunk nahi hoga chalega. Crown nahi hoga chalega. Only roots hoga chalega.
No.
It won't do it. Because, so we need all three, right? So we discuss.
No, so there's actually
So the key word
so much
for this is what?
actually take,
Can we all just stand up for a minute?
cut it in there, and then press against.
Balance.
Relax.
And stand in this pose. And you see this picture? Stand. Everybody has to stand. Like this.
Like this.
Okay?
I cut
Wow, many are able to do. Now close your eyes and stand like this. Don't remove. Close your eyes and stand like this. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and stand.
This is called Hiranyakashipu
Yes,
pose.
who is able to stand?
Okay, that's
Those who are not able to, moving, start sitting down. Sit down. Those who are not standing, those who are standing, stand. Close your eyes and stand. One minute. Close your eyes and stand.
Close your eyes.
Lovely. Give them a big hand.
Very nice.
Nice. So many of you could do it. First of all, to stand in this pose itself is difficult, right?
Yes.
But more difficult is to close your eyes and stand. Why?
We are not aware of what is going on.
Because you lose your vision. You lose your vision of what you are doing, and then you become shaky. So it's very, very important to have the word balance in everybody's life. What is the best diet? A balanced diet. Which is the best weather? Some cities have very balanced weather. Not too cold, not too hot. Some have extreme weathers, right? Extremely cold. Some are extremely hot. So people migrate from one place to the other. Why? Sometimes simply because of weather conditions. But where there is balanced weather, people love to stay over there. Right? Where there is a proper balance between earning, spending and saving. That is a balanced lifestyle.
Balance financial life.
And where there is a balance in your work, sleep and recreation, that is balance again. So where there is all these things, then there is the right amount of balance in your life. And you have to focus on all the three areas, which is very important. If you defocus from any of the areas, then your life goes into imbalance. You could become hard-hearted, you could become selfish, and you could feel very empty in your life. We are not going into detail due to lack of time, but if you focus only on the roots, I have to just chant my rounds and I have to, read and I have to practice Krishna consciousness and all, then what do you become? Hard-hearted. You don't care for the emotions of anybody. But I have to just do bhakti means, for me bhakti means just this, you become a fanatic devotee. And you will end up becoming a hard-hearted person. If you focus only on the trunk.
There are often, I just want to mention this. There are examples of people who are very scholarly, who have read a lot of scripture, but are very, very poor in their personal dealings. There are people like that, right? That means the roots are apparently very strong, right? But they are focused only on their roots. They forgot that there is a trunk also. Trunk means their family life and all. So they will be very bad parents, they will be horrible as friends and colleagues and like that. But Knowledge-wise, they can score right? So that indicates that they have overemphasized one and neglected. So the opposite word we will stress, one is balance. Balance opposite क्या है? Neglect. Neglect. And if you neglect any aspect, there will be creating imbalance.
So although spiritual life is very important, but not at the cost of. Right? We understand that not at the cost of. We do all these things. We do reading, we do chanting, but do not forget the balance factors. The second thing is, if you focus only on the trunk, my family, my friends, spiritual life you put aside, then the roots remain weak, and what remains? You become a very sentimental and selfish person. Me, myself, my family, but then everything centered around me. And you do not grow in a balanced way. And the third thing is, if you focus only on the crown, which is what you have to give out, then what happens in your life? You will feel at a particular stage very empty. Because in giving, why you like to give? Because you are getting so much of recognition. If you take care of family, nobody is going to tell you, wow, nice you taking care of them. But if you do some, external social service or seva and all, if you go and cook Rajbhog in the temple, then 100 people will come and tell you, very nice, every day you are doing Rajbhog. But at home you are Haribol. There Prabhuji, Prasad is there in the fridge. Day before yesterday, I didn't have it. Well, I have to go and cook for Krishna, But what about us? We are part and parcel of Krishna. What about us also, right? So, if we focus only on the crown, again that imbalance will happen. So, that is why we have said, focusing on all three areas is a must. So, though we do it in 2 sessions, then we have this checklist. You can have a root check, then you can have a trunk check, then you can have a crown check. And when you summarize the marks in the sheet, then you see A is what? The worldly profile. The world sees. The worldly profile, which the world is going to see, your behavioral profile and your attitudinal. What is seen? How much of your attitude is seen? How much? An iceberg. How much of the iceberg is seen?
Only the top tip. Only the tip.
The main thing is down, right? So attitude you cannot see. What you see is only the tip upstairs, right? So the God, what does God see? Attitude. He is not going to see why you have done what you have done, right? The world sees what you have done externally, what you have done. The behavioral provides is what? How you have done it. And Krishna sees why you have done it. That is the main intention. Just see the pictures of these trees, The root is very there. And what are the... We want to go into detail on this.
This is the second part.
Yeah.
Can continue this tomorrow?
Yeah, we can continue.
But then everybody is not going to be there. There will be different set of people there.
Online they can come. It will be good to
I think it is good to go in detail rather than rush, because some of us will be there.
No, that's okay. So the imbalanced approach, in spite of good intentions, you may have very good intentions. I want to do the best for everybody, but if my life is not in balance, then what happens? You remain unproductive and unfulfilled. What did he say? That who is the best preacher?
Happy devotee.
A happy devotee is the best teacher. But can you be happy if your life is not balanced?
No.
Can you be productive?
No.
Can you be fulfilled?
No.
Because you might be doing a lot of missionary work, but people can see you. People can see your family. That, oh, he's doing so much preaching, but family is not happy. Then, are you a good preacher? Because people will not hear your words, they will see you. Your words speak louder than your, your actions speak louder than your words. I cannot hear what you are saying because, what you are speaking, because I can see that you are not walking your talk. Right? So that is the importance of having balance. So how do you have strong roots? Through our sadhana. How do we have a strong trunk? Through sadachara.
Sadachar.
And how do you
Sadachar
have
means achar, na? Acharan.
How we act.
See,
3S formula.
so my dear devotees, this is more like we are culminating the discussion. The other things are there, but doesn't matter. Even if we can take home whatever we are discussing now, there is a lot to learn from that. So my dear devotees, so 3 things. So we need to nourish all 3. Now that's we have come to the conclusion that Tino Zaruri hai. Roots strong. Because we are not, as she often says, we are not a shooting star in Krishna consciousness. We come to Krishna consciousness, but something happens and we just get wiped out. It is so very rare to become getting a chance to associate with Krishna's devotees. It is the rarest thing. When Krishna is pleased with us through lifetimes of austerities and punya karma we have done in past lives, Krishna says, okay, now I gift you because you've been very punyashali, you've been, your very pious activities. I give you my gifts. My gift is what? I will get you in touch with my sincere devotees, and they will guide you further in your journey of your soul and bring you to me. Right? Krishna will provide you that facility, that particular type of help, assistance from his side. That this is the best assistance I'm giving you. This will help you in your journey towards me. Right? So, looking at a long-term vision to our life, we need to take care of these 3 things properly in balanced way. Never forget these 3 S's. S for sadhana, S for pradasana, S for seva. So strong roots means sadhana. So let's define sadhana. Sadhana is first chanting. Now everyone knows that sadhana is chanting, right? But it is not only chanting. Real chanting is chanting with undivided attention. Right? Undivided attention in our chanting of holy name, that reaps the greatest benefit. Right? Then reading of the holy scriptures. Only chanting is not enough. Right? We must nourish our intelligence. When we read, we are nourishing intelligence, we understand. Yeah, this is the philosophy. This is the tattva jnana behind it. This is the purpose behind it. So we nourish our intelligence. Right? So we need to read the holy scriptures and hear from the great devotees. So reading from those who are speaking, right? Exodus Prabhupada. YouTube is full of thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of lectures. Like if your favorite speaker, whatever is that, you can hear, right? Read from Prabhupada's books. The third thing is, of course, is associating with devotees. So hearing, chanting, reading and associating, all these 4 are considered as for first. And these 4 things will make a very strong sadhana. Your roots become strong. Tomorrow something will happen to you, you can sustain the storms of life through that strong sadhana. The second part is S for sadachara, right? And that means we follow the Vaishnava lifestyle. What we eat, we offer to the Lord. We offer to take up dress, we behave in a particular way, we offer to take up of ethos, right? In how we interact with people, with the world, right? So that is called as proper sadachara. Durachara, sadachara, right? The people who are unfortunate will be living a person with durachara. But we want to practice sadachara, right? So people will see, right? So that is the visible part of our lifestyle. And last is our crown. Crown stands for what we give out, right? We are eager. When we chant Hare Krishna Prabhupada, we saying, my dear Lord, please engage me in your devotional service, right? So we give out, as I said, through Pranayara and Kriya Vacha, we give out and perform our services. So if we take care of all these things properly, in a balanced manner, we will all, so when you have seva, is the crown, then the sadhana part is down, and then, And the color what I'm talking about, the crown is the green color, you say what? Then the roots are this color which you see on the left side, and the trunk is the brown color. And Krishna is which color? Blue. It's a Neela Varna and Giridhari. Neela Varna. Krishna is Ghanashyam. Right? So in this way, these three things are.
So as you all understand that life is a, what is life? It's a big project. Some people come to US as, I have a 2-year project, 3-year project, right? But life is a lifetime project. Yeah, lifetime project is there. So, we already mentioned about the tree, the bug which had vada, the bug which ate up. Then we had gone to Bahrain, and we saw that in Bahrain there is a tree. Many of you must have seen, right? Even though it is standing in the desert alone, it is fully nourished and strong. It's in the middle, there is no trees around, there is no water body around. So how is it still nourished? Because the roots go so deep that they are able to take out nourishment from wherever it is available. So a devotee also is an opportunist. Wherever the nourishment is available, you rush to that place so that you can remain nourished in that way. The third example worth remembering is what? Life is like a drama editing. Prabhuji mentioned that we do dramas, and we will forward you 2-3 dramas which are the latest dramas which we have done this time. We did a drama on Hanuman last year, so on the eve of Ram Navami, please accept that as one of the gifts which you want to give. And this year we did a drama on Tulsi Maharani, the glories of Tulsi Maharani. And since we are talking of the tree of life, the most holy tree which we worship is which? Tulsi Maharani. So, commemorating this seminar that we are giving, we will forward you the drama on Tulsi Maharani also. Please do watch it. While Prasad, if this TV is able to get connected to YouTube, we'll just give you a small glimpse of it, that it is nothing less than Hollywood Bollywood. It's not like a street drama which you might think it is, right? So, but while doing this drama, what happens is we have to do editing after the drama is done. So there is a video track and there is a sound track. It's a pre-recorded drama. So sometimes in editing, the sound starts before and the video has not started. Or the video starts before and the sound has not started. So the lips start moving but the sound has not started. And the other way around also it can happen. Is that enjoyable?
No.
Unless the sound and the video is in sync, is in complete sync, you will not be able to enjoy it. So what we are trying to say is that we understand things theoretically, but unless you are saying like this, but you are behaving the other way around, so they will not feel impressed or inspired. Who walk their talk, they are, even if they remain silent, they are a source of inspiration for everybody, right? So we said that life is a very dynamic thing. You cannot plan your life. Can you plan your life?
No.
10-year plan, and suddenly some storm comes and what happened to my planning? It's very dynamic, right? So what you have to understand is principles. When you understand principles, then you are able to apply them as and when they come. So that is why we thought that please do understand the importance of all these three things, and that's why we call it's a progressive lifestyle seminar. Life keeps progressing in different ways. So when you understand these principles, you will always be able to be successful. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Haribo!
If anybody has any questions, if we have time.
Roy, wanted to ask something? Public.
So how do we decide someone's sleep is regulated and healthy? Is there any measurement? Because Srila Prabhupada slept only for a couple of hours, but then he was functioning all time. So it was productive, fulfilling. So how do we say how much is sufficient and how much is not sufficient?
So as we become more and more purified, like in Srila Goswami's song, that Nidra Har Kadi Vikitao Chatita Dinao Chayao. Right? So as we become highly purified, your physical needs become very, 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 very minimized. Right? And therefore people like Prabhupada who are on that caliber of having being an exalted state of Paramahamsa stage, they can survive with many less things. Now anybody Paramahamsa here? Not yet. If someone will come, I'm sure. So as he said, Prabhuji is asking, what is the average, right? So the average, which now I'm talking about what Prabhupada says, backed up by a lot of research or modern science also say, right? So average they say is minimum should not be less than 6 and should not be more than 8, right? So some people, as you said, as you understand that it will be variable. Somebody can be very, 6 hours sleep and I'm okay, Prabhuji, I'm for that. Somebody she's going to go, my head, I get headache and I'm not doing, I need 7 hours there. Right? So we are all different in this way, but the range is not less than 6, not more than 8. But the important thing is not just the number of hours. It is the quantity, and then the other thing is the quality of sleep, right? So from 9 to 12 when we sleep, we get double efficiency sleep. So 3 hours sleep is giving us almost 6 hours of benefit. Right? From 12 to 3, you get 3 hours, 1 hour to 1 hour. After 3 hours, it becomes half. So actually, if you sleep from say 9 to 4, then what is 7 hours in terms of time is around 9 to 10 hours of efficiency. So your body gets rested so much more than somebody sleeping at 1 a.m. and getting up at 9 a.m. and say, hey, 1 ghanta mera ho gaya. But the guy will become not getting up fresh, with groggy, his eyes will be poor, constipation, blood pressure, dyslipidemia, fatty liver, da 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 da. There will be so many things happen, right? So, and eating also early. We can only sleep early and get a good sleep because when we eat early also. So, thoda sa, I mean, the diet should be such that we don't, today we are eating prasad ideally, ideally, we should start the program with prasad, everyone comes in, it's possible. I know that logistics are there, but from the health perspective, eat prasadam, we can go for the program, everyone goes back early, but then they go home, the stomach is empty. That is great. Okay. Any other question? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for this discourse. I just have one question about that simplicity Mataji was talking about. That Krishna also loved Sudama. He was very simple. He didn't do any political things. But in our practical life, even though when we don't do anything politically wrong, there are people around us who are actually trying to politically disturb us. How do we handle that kind of situation? It disturbs us, right?
Yes, we are talking of simplicity, not being a simpleton. If we remain simpletons, then people will take advantage of us. They will, manipulate us and all that. We are not talking of that type of thing. We are talking of the simplicity from our side, that you remain, simplicity keeps you peaceful. Not be very complicated in every aspect of your life. For example, whether it is from eating to dressing to living a lifestyle. That's what Prabhupada says, simple living, high thinking. But today it is high living, simple thinking. Right? We have become very, so we understand simplicity means no duplicity. The definition given is simplicity means no duplicity. So we should not be duplicitous with others, but it's not that we lose intelligence, that if people are manipulating us or this, we just let them ride over us. That's not the definition of humility or simplicity. We are intelligent enough and according to time, place, circumstance, we have to take the action. Yeah, we have to deal with it. We have to be practical about it. Take help, how to deal with the situation.
But the energy is also consumed so much that we get weak, no, Mataji.
No, but you have to do the needful. Whatever, I mean, we are not getting into details because I don't know what you are referring to. But we do not allow people to just take you for a ride if they are doing that. So we are intelligent and sharp, but a simple devotee doesn't mean he's dumb. We don't remain dumb like them. But we are talking from a different perspective.
Okay. Thank you. I have a question.
This sort of questions are always going to be there. How do we deal with the environment? So that's something which we have to gradually use our intelligence to see Prabhupada's books and develop virtues, right? Virtues of how to deal. So some people is doing like this, some people is doing like that. The common question will keep coming up all the time. No? How do we deal with that? So we haven't taken that dimension today. It's about what you should be. You should not be political. We don't want to be offending people. We should not be the one who's. So we want to be part of the solution. We don't want to be part of the problem, right? But how to deal with that? That requires some maturity, some guidance, some insight. But if we are Krishna consciously situated properly, we will not respond wrongly. If you are hurting me, I hurt you double. You speak bad about me, I will speak about you with more vengeance, right? So if our values are proper, then we do not get so disturbed that everything becomes shaken up in our life. We know how to deal with that. In due course of time, we know as a karna, right? But if our roots are not strong and our mind is disturbed, then we may react in ways which are not healthy for us. That part we should understand. Is it okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
I understand. Thank you.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, Prabhuji, thank you for giving us insights about how we can live a balanced life. I have a question about when you were talking about the vada tree, when a bug came in and then the trunk got hollow. Similarly, our spiritual life can be impacted when we commit offenses or we have doubts or we don't have right faith. But sometimes we are an illusion, or sometimes we unintentionally commit offenses and we don't realize it, and we are an illusion because we don't realize we have created offenses. How can we correct ourselves? How would we know that we are creating? How can we see from our day-to-day life that okay, the offenses are happened, and what change would I see in my spiritual life if that happens?
We need to understand, Mataji, what is offense, right? So offense is a deliberate act of harming a devotee, demeaning him, ridiculing him, inciting him, right? Destroying his good character or throwing dirt on him, so defiling him, right? So when that setup of a derogatory behavior is there, it's done good. So the ideal example would be something like Daksha and Shiva. Right. There's a nice person here, Shiva is sitting there, with everybody else, all the yogis and all the demigods are come. And here is a person who is very big, very flamboyant, and he just targets him and speaks, you are all this, right? You are horrible, you are under tea, you are not bathed and this and that. So he really takes on to his case, right? So that is clearly, you can see is hey, how can you say that, Baba? This is offensive, right? Full-blooded, he's saying it. Now, what may be unintentionally done, right? Unintentionally done, right? Is not something the Lord is going to take very seriously. As we become more mature in our Krishna consciousness, we become more sensitive, right? When we are less sensitive, we can do a lot of misbehavior. And say, "Usme kya hai? I should have told." I say, "But he spoke to me. I should have been liar only with him." Usme we have some reasons to justify when we did the wrong thing. But as we become purified, we become sensitive. Then, if the least of bad thing we may have said, we will understand. So, the insight to our unknowingly perform offenses, will be read by the Lord in the heart. I think he didn't speak properly to his devotee.
Yeah.
Right? He could have been, he didn't appreciate, or he was neglectful, or he came to you to meet you and with a lot of positivity and you just,
Yeah.
so you are not, not like that. But
Yeah.
you didn't, so that, those sensitivities among in the Vaishnava community comes about as we become more purified. When we realize that even these small things can really improve on the internal side. That you getting the point?
Yes, Prabhuji.
We end, Prabhu.
You had a question. I will ask the question after.
If it's going to help everybody, last question.
It might take a little long, but during the course of our attempt to become a devotee, sometimes we have already reached to a point where the three S's are not balanced. So how do we pull them back and balance them? Because by that time you have created a kind of an image or an expectation that this person is doing this, but now you're trying to pull out of that and try to focus on the remaining two. So how can that be done in a way that it nourishes us in terms of balancing them and neither affecting the surroundings?
You're talking about
Question is very complicated, bro. So I'm honest, I couldn't understand the question.
Okay, you will clarify the question.
So if the three S's, one is roots, sadhana,
Sadhana, sadachara,
Sadachara and seva.
let's say one focuses only on sadhana and then others are disturbed or not given even importance. Or one says, okay, focus only on seva, but then others are neglected. And now that is creating unfulfilled life or unproductive results or strained relationship. So how do we now try to pull that back and become balanced? But at the same time, whatever commitments, whatever responsibilities you might have taken over a period of those three S's, now they are impacted. So how can we manage that?
Most of us go through this. Because without knowledge, we are going to be imbalanced only, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
When we heard this seminar for the first time, and we started writing also and we heard this concept, we thought our life is also completely messed up, you know. Right? But if something is messed up, you don't allow it to remain messed up. So awareness is the first step. So at least now we are becoming aware that okay, these are the, it's nothing new which we have spoken in one sense, but we have just brought it to surface that you think about it in this type of categorization, bracket your life in, these are the three aspects and all. So this helps us to think, go deeper, and then we realize that maybe I have just focused on my sadhana, neglected my family, and I have not come forward and done any seva, or I was just like seva, and my sadhana has been very poor, you know. But now that we are aware, that is why the most important part, the word in Veda is not now. But the Sanskrit? Atato. Now is the time. So even this is a sign of sincerity first, that we are feeling things are not in balance. So then we access the mercy of Krishna, that Krishna, now that I am aware, it's not that the life has ended. I can still make changes. And I am not making changes for people's image of my image in people's eyes to change. First, when I change myself, I will myself feel more happy and satisfied. And then whatever repercussions, people will also start noticing. Right? Because ultimately we are trying to be sincere devotees and Krishna will help us. We take one step towards Krishna, Krishna will take one step, but his step is so big, no? Mamandev, his step is so big. So he will help us out. So at least we should be happy that, okay, I am realizing. The checklist which is there is for that only.
That part was for me.
That is the checklist to see that, okay, am I feeling this? Am I doing this and neglecting this? But because you understood the concept, you will be able to analyze it yourself. So make the necessary changes. And in this, sometimes I decide on my own, I may not be successful. Because I decided I am going to delete the decision and do it with somebody else. Either the best person to do it with a partner. Because they are seeing us most closely. Who is going to see you most closely? Nobody outside will think, perfect. But who knows how we are as our partner. So we can help each other the best. So sometimes if we are sincere and we are humble enough that we can take suggestions from each other and positive feedback. That is a sign of mental and emotional strength. And we take feedback. So what do you feel? What do people feel like that? That is one thing. So what changes should be made? So actually when we made this seminar, before we did this, we made a change in our life few years back. We stay close to one of the ISKCON temples, but we used to always chant at home. Then we said we are talking big things, make your root strong and this strong and that. Can we make our root strong to some extent by doing some, what steps can we take? So we decided, okay, instead of chanting at home, we are chanting, not that, we'll go to temple and chant. And that had made a tremendous change in our life.
Regulation. The power of regulation.
Yeah, that regulation. So suppose if I feel that, okay, my trunk is not very balanced, my relationships and all, then what steps can we take? Can we discuss and see what we can do? My family is neglected, then can I spend some more time with my family? If my friend circle is not very strong, I'm a loner, I like to be there. Can I start inviting some devotees home, go to some devotees home, try to deepen my relationship with devotees, not just keep superficial, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. That you will always do, have 6 loving exchanges. We go for prasad to somebody's house, we invite them home, we give them some gift, they give you some gift. We reveal our mind and confidence, sharing like that, Prabhu, I'm struggling, are you also struggling? How do we cope up with the struggling thing? Right? So we try to do that, focus on that aspect. And suppose we've been doing all of that, but our crown is weak. So we are not coming forward and doing any seva only. So can I take up some responsibility? Can we do? So this requires analysis. And it's never too late. It's never too late. The best time is now. Let's begin. So these seminars are what? They are food for thought.
They are awareness seminars.
It is not just that information, but no transformation. These are for transformation, and as a community we can also help each other. If we are having close relations with each other, we can sit together, make a questionnaire for ourselves, analyze it, do it, go deeper into the session. We just rub the surface. You can go deeper. As we said, do it with somebody, then it will be a long-lasting thing. Somebody can keep a check on you. Hello, Prabhu, you had said you are not following it. Somebody will correct us, na? Oh, Mataji, don't you think we should be doing this? You only said about this. Let's do. Because with time our resolutions become weak. But let's move forward.
The seminar does not end today.
It starts today.
Please remember that. But it's not that, okay, nice program, very good, Hare Krishna, we clapped for a while and had prasad, we have excellent prasad now. It should not end here. It will be a great disservice to our own selves and our communities if we think the program is over and everything is going home now. It should actually trigger a chain of thoughts of how I can, it is about, the seminar is about self-growth. We are all here for self-growth. And we have to self-growth, the family growth will take place, the community growth will take place, the mission growth will take place, everything will grow. But it all starts with self-growth. So we want to be motivated strongly for internal growth, and it will help in so many ways. Right? So please spend some time on weekend to sit with the paper and pen, either in solitude or with your partners, right? And put it down on paper. What baby steps I can make? We do not want to make big. From today I want to read 1 hour of Bhagavatam every day. No matter what happens. Start at 5 minutes.
Be realistic.
Okay. Or if I've been chanting in a distracted way, checking the mobile all the time, or Okay, let me give more undivided attention. Let me chant more peacefully and give undivided attention to the holy name of the Lord. Can I make some changes on that? Right? Small. Or I'll stand in front of Tulsi Maharani and chant. They are more focused. So small things, and you go. See, when you make small changes, Krishna will give more intelligence. Remember Krishna's promise, Dadami Buddhi. Right? When he sees, like she said, when he sees we are taking steps to come towards Krishna, Krishna is not going to just say, "Dekhta hu, kitna karta hai." He's not like that. He says, "Oh, you come towards me." He's like a loving mother. He says, "Oh, yeah, he gives more intelligence. Do this, and now do this, and do that." Right? So he's sitting right in the heart and inspiring us, pushing us, cajoling us, coaxing us to go forward towards him. Right? But we need to make that. He needs to see that we are eager for change. Eager for change, and he will help us. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Mahaprasade Govinde. Nam Ram Vaishnave. Koti Rajan. Vishwasana Jayate. Sharira Vidyaja. Indriya Taheka. Yukre Vishaya Sagare. Namaste Jivayati. Yomaya Sudurmati. Adhita Katina Sansare. Krishna Bada Daya Maya. Anigari Jiva Jaya. Sadhana Dilo Bhav. Srinam Kripao. Sri Radha Krishna Gunagao. Namo Sri Chaitanya Nitai. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda. Sri Advaita Gadadhar. Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Ram.
Mataji, that's the green color, Mataji. Left side, Mataji, green. Yeah, on the left side. Yeah.
This is our Tulsi Maharani drama. The first one, the goddess of devotion, which we did this year. So Prabhuji will forward that to you.
59.
Is the volume there? But it's not connected.
It's connected, Mataji.
Connected was.
So just play its place.
No, the sound is not.
Sound nahi aa raha.
It's paused.
Maybe the TV remote.
TV remote is there.
Even volume may be increased possible.
See, these are the.
Oh my God. So nice.
Mataji, was this painted?
No. Background.
This is the dance. Our children, our youth.
Prabhu.
Mirror community.
Where is the volume in this?
Anaka, volume.
Anaka volume.
Is this the remote, Prabhu?
I think so.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Oh, it's on the left side. Okay, yeah.
Try all the buttons.
No, it's on the left side.
100,000 disciples.
This is all made in LED.
Report to Saksha that
Oh, LED.
Vrinda plans the path.
I am just showing you glimpses.
Ambika, get the water.
It's the marriage of Shaligram and Tulsi.
So you acted, Mataji, in this?
Prabhuji is acting.
Prabhuji is acting.
Want to see Prabhuji?
Oh my God. The background is...
Have impressed me. Please take this and be happy. For entire Navdeep, everyone is happy. Ishan. Oh Krishna, Nimol,
Prabhuji.
take care of the clinic. I will come back soon. You may move forward. I will follow you. Your horseman would rush in from the north. You know, Mukunda, I do not trust any Ayurvedic physician in our kingdom except you. Your expertise has been such an asset to me and my family. I am honored, dear Nawab. Please let me do your Nadi Pariksha. I can see that because of excessive Bengal heat and the intense political stress is causing what is called as Nidra Nash.
Okay, but I want to show you this last scene. These are two devotees who became Vittal Rukmini. They are devotees.
Wow.
Break your hands.
This is the auditorium, 1200 devotees.
Break your hands. Hold your hands. This is Abhanga by Tukaram. Tukaram. You know.
Maharashtrian.
You know like that. My father is a big fan of this is Loknath Maharaj singing. Maharaj was there.
Yeah. All our kids, huh?
These are names of Tulsi. Names of Tulsi. Eight names of Tulsi.
Dasi is the only disciple of Srila Prabhupada who was mentioned by him in his Bhakti Vedanta purports for her special service to Srimati Tulsi Maharani. Srila Prabhupada was extremely pleased with her relentless enthusiasm and dedication in bringing Tulsi worship to the Western world. We aspire to achieve a drop of that devotion for Srimati Tulsi Maharani. कृष्ण की प्रियसी तुलना तुझी सारे विश्व पूजिते तुला श्रद्धा तूच देसी भक्ती तूच देसी म्हणून नंदिनी म्हणती तुला साऱ्या फुलांचा गंध तुला आशीर्वादा विश्वाला दिला साऱ्या जीवाना आसरा तुझा जिथे तू तिथे कृष्ण तुझा साऱ्या जीवाना आसरा तुझा जिथे तू तिथे कृष्ण तुझा नमो वृंदे देवी नमो तुलसी देवी नमो कृष्ण जीवानी पुष्पासरा नमो विश्व पावनी विश्व पूजिता नमो नंदिनी नमो वृंदावनी तुलसी 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 वृंदावनी तुलसी 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 वृंदावनी तुलसी करणी राहुनी कवी आनंदी विश्वाचे भोग तुलसी दला बिना सर्वते नकारती स्पर्शाने तुलसी दल विश्वपूजिता भक्ति प्रदायिनी वृंदे देवी श्री तुलसी महारानी की
Please watch the whole drama. Prabhuji will forward.
This is just a promo. Like a little bit of.
Very nice.
And we also
Like
did.
an appetizer for your program.
We did on Hanuman. And we made Hanuman fly.
Who is it?
You want to see Hanuman flying?
See, this is a devotee. We did shooting of this. Do green screen shooting.
Mission for Sri Ram supersedes personal comforts, Nanak. I am, however, grateful
So
for
that's the other part, flying, other flying.
Very high quality.
We need to watch this before Hanuman Jayanti.
Looks like a film.
That's we did Ravan, Ashok Vatika, Ravan, all the bastards. And we made all these props, huh?
on your moonlight face.
Yeah.
Oh, Sita, you will save your every gift and enjoy life to the fullest. Son Akshay Kumar, it is they who attacked me first. And in defense,
He's sitting on a tail throne.
code of dharma.
See?
Nonsense.
We made this whole thing.
Consider that you are invoking the wrath of the mighty Ravan, who is feared by Yamaraj himself. Of course, the tops of your movie are being sung in all the
This Dwarakadhish Prabhu is Vibhishan.
Oh,
easily defeated by the 1,000-armed Kartivirya Arjun, right? You are the same Ravan who, while he effortlessly carried in his armpit, while you are begging for mercy, he speaks too much. You lowborn monkey, who are you? And who sent you here? Know me to be Ram's Das, servant of Lord Ram, and know me as Ramdut, the messenger of Ram. My
Please see with your family. Enjoy.
Illusion? What are you saying, Viman? It is uninformed of Mahiravan.
This is the auditorium.
So many cities of Ravan could thwart his plan. There was no time to doubt me.
very high quality.
A huge production.
It's there on YouTube.
Yeah. I'm saying it is like a movie. It's like movie, Mataji.
It is. That's why I said.
So Mataji, how long does it take for you to
3 months.
3 months?
3 months. Prabhuji writes the script.
Oh, okay.
That is true.
And probably so many rehearsals, Mataji.
3 months.
See the back screens itself.
Yeah, back screens are there.
Yeah.
This table will put there. So that
No problem. They will eat.
Oh,
Or we'll have them eat. No problem. Please, you are welcome anytime. Because you can meet them. Get that.
Subscribe to this channel.